Golightly. I'd like to congratulate you on your efforts in bringing the plight of the unusual diseases to the Australian population. I'd like to point out that there are several reasons why the governments of the world are so inept when it comes to doing the right thing. Number one is the birth certificate, which is actually a death sentence. What happens is when a child is born, the mother or father fills out the forms to register the child, usually issued by the hospital. It goes to the registrar, then a clerk or lawyer for the registrar takes the application to a Supreme Court judge, and he might have 30, 40, 50, 100 to deal with. And he will call the child's name. When the child doesn't answer, after all it's only a baby, it's certainly not in court, he rules it as being intestate. And what that means in English terminology legally is the person dies without a will. And as you know, if a person does die who's an adult without a will, the government takes over the estate until it's settled in the court or on behalf of the people that should inherit. But with a baby and its birth certificate, it's based on the maritime law of a child being the same as a ship. So a ship, when it is fully laden with cargo and it needs to be dry docked, it is still able to trade once a birth certificate is issued. So with a child, the government will borrow $1 million US from the international bankers, and it's guaranteed by the taxation that child will pay in his or her lifetime. That is why when you look at your driver's license and anything communicated to you from the government, it's always in capitals. When it's in capitals, it means that you are a straw man or woman. Now, the governments don't want you to know that, because think of it as a murderer stalking you all of your life, waiting for you to die, and at my age of 66 years, I'm probably worth $140 million to the government debt. So there's always inadequate hospital facilities, and pharmaceutical corporations dominate the world because they make money off slow suffering. Of course, there's a cancer cure. There's a cure for AIDS. I actually had the AIDS cure after I'd been in Africa. I noticed that there was a thing there called the Black Death, and had all the symptoms of what we would say is AIDS today. And I worked out how to cure that, and took it to the Red Cross, and they weren't remotely interested. So I then concluded that there was something seriously wrong, and as it turns out, over the years we found out that AIDS was patented by the United States Patent Office in the name of the United States Health Department. The chief scientist was Dr. Galler, and you can Google that number now, and the search engines that use supercomputers go straight through. Normally there is a block. If you went to the patent office in Washington, there's a block on it. You couldn't find that number, but these supercomputers, they just backdoor it and go straight in and reveal every conceivable atrocity that America's ever done. So you are worth a lot of money dead. So they invent wars and diseases and so forth, and the multinational corporations all contribute to the delusion of the world being run in a way that is beneficial to human beings. So what they're doing, a big problem here in Australia, is uranium. No country needs uranium. All you've got to do is drill down a couple of miles and you've got water, fresh water, anywhere on the earth. There's 13 times the volume of water under the surface of the Earth than there is on top of the Earth's surface, which is including Antarctica and the North Pole. So when you drill down, you get down deep enough, the water pours in behind the drill head and will reach a temperature when the rock is hotter than boiling point, and you could then turn that water to steam. Keep going 20 miles and you're going to have molten 2200 degrees Celsius. So it's in between the two, depending where you're on here. Right, so I invented the AIDS cure and then come up with many other cures as well. And with Janelle, we took it up into New Guinea, and our first patient was cured on the 22nd of October 2008. Since that time, we don't know how many we've cured, but it's probably around 25,000 or more. And Janelle is going to read to you some letters from our clinics up in New Guinea, and they're sending our what we call miracle water, which is one of the things that I put together, and it's basically colloidal silver and ozone, and colloidal silver kills all known germs and pathogens. DNA, deoxynucleic acid. Well, the deoxy means short of an oxygen molecule. So Nikola Tesla invented the ozone machines 1904, and if you put ozone